But let's look at the first case, victory over death. Now, this is a very wide topic, but for the purpose of this discussion, I would try to limit it to a certain context that is immediately applicable. Now, death in the Bible speaks of two kinds of death. While it does not say this is the first death, the first time we heard death is in the book. In fact, the first person to ever use the word death was God himself, because he said, the day you eat of this fruit, what fruit was that? The fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall die. This already tells you that Adam was not just a guy who didn't know anything, just wandering around naked and open-eyed, ignoramus. For God to say, the day you eat of this fruit, you shall die, it means every concept there was understood by him, or else it would be unjust to give a man a law that he does not understand. What does the law say? The day you eat of this fruit, you shall die. That means he understands what die means. The concept of death was something that he understood. The unpleasantness of it was something that he understood. Or else the law would make no difference to him. But now, we want to look at victory over death. In the book of Revelation chapter 20 verse 14, the Bible makes reference to the second death. The second death is when all those who have rebelled against God, who have opposed his rule and his will, and spurned his offer of grace and mercy, are then by their choices the choice they have made, which is, I don't want to be with you, I don't want you in my life, I don't want to know you. In some cases, I do not believe you exist, and I do not regard or want to have a relationship with you. The wish is granted. But you see, there's a problem. God is a source of life, and if he's rejected, the only other reality is death. So the Bible calls this the second death. The first death will really refer to a cessation of life. First of all will be your physical life as is known. But the second death is the final consignment into the lake of fire, which speaks of then eternal separation from God. Victory over death. In the book of Romans, death is spoken of as a personality. The picture is of a personality whose intent is evil and whose capacity to destroy is established. But this personality seeks to exert influence upon man, but finds no means of doing that. And the only way he's able to do that is by a door he needs to be opened. That door is marked sin. Once that door is opened, death can then have access to man and then exert upon man the chaos and the destruction that is the natural outflow of its actions. So, in that context, death will be then the all-encompassing word for everything that is opposed to the well-being of man. So sickness is death, and so is poverty, and depression, and sadness, ennui, a feeling of helplessness, hopelessness, frustration, terrible relationships, drug abuse, everything that men universally push against constitutes death. An unhappy marriage, children that break your heart, heartbreak, unrequited love, all of this constitutes death. Whereas the opposite of death is life, which Jesus gives, which Jesus provides. I do hope that you have been blessed by the words and the messages that have been published on our various channels. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, click on that notification bell so that you can really spread the message around.